I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. She might be late.
She might be late.
Okay. We'll move on to citizen comments. Citizen comments. Citizen comments. Anybody wishing to speak? Seeing none, citizen comments is closed. Announcements from the chairman. I hope everyone had a happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, and I'd like to extend a Happy New Year to you. Thanks for coming out on such a blistery cold evening. We'll move on to supervisor reports. Supervisor reports. Supervisor Hallman, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I tried to see if there were some other brave souls before I hit my light, but I guess not. Yesterday evening, the Human Services Committee met. We received an update from Donna Rhodes.
He is mic'd up.
Better?
Yeah.
All right. We received an update from Ms. Donna Rhodes, who heads our gang prevention unit in the Department of Children and Family Services. The program was called Feeding 100 Families. So our county employees take a, shall we say, casual day in terms of dress, and in doing so contribute $5 to a fund that is then used to purchase food for those in need, and referrals come from various places in the community for folks. I have somewhere under me some of the statistics that she shared about what was given to all of those families, but it was actually 112. It's called Feeding 100, but it's really 112. 100 was the goal. When they started, they did 60. And this past year, they hit 112. So folks receive a bag. Everybody got 1.5 pounds of ground beef. They got eggs, butter. I think she said they also had bread, as well as a number of non-perishable items that were included in there. I made one small suggestion to her for next year, and that is that our nutrition educators put some recipe cards in those bags. Also part of last night's meeting, which I know I had mention of before and probably should have emailed you, but I'm assuming we all know how to read the weekly call sheet. Mr. Doug Bartz, our job center manager, came and gave an update about the economic development that's going on in Kenosha County. This is really important, particularly for one reason. Mr. Bartz has been genius and creative enough to solve a problem that we probably didn't even know that we had. So for folks who are applying for jobs that are utilizing our business services unit, which is working one-on-one with employers, saying what are the skills that you need, what are some of the things that you're looking for from folks, and working to look through those applications and help match them up with prospective employees. Mr. Bartz, as part of that process, has made it mandatory that people put down their zip code. That means that you have some idea from your county board district whether or not you have any constituents that have applied for or were possibly even hired. We've never had data at that granular of a level, and quite frankly, for the volume of it, because of the amount of economic expansion that's going on, that's really brilliant. That means if we have a problem in a particular zip code in a particular educational area, which is a completely different data set, that we could actually target our own program to move people from being unemployed to being employed. We've never really been able to do that in-house in quite that fashion, and now we can. So what he has is really extraordinary. I have some of the materials that he shared with the committee last night if anybody would like to see it. It's very, very, very impressive, and I'm thinking I might try to start a tradition and give him an award. I've got something cooking on the brain. So thank you.
Very good, thank you. Supervisor Anita Johnson.
Hi, sorry I was late. I just wanted to add something to that, and I hope you didn't already say this, but it's tremendously exciting what's going on with Kenosha County and our jobs. Unemployment's at 5.5 right now. We don't even usually go below 4.7 anywhere because they're just people who want to stay home and not want to work. I mean, that's just really exciting. I don't know if he told you about what happened with Amazon and I don't know if he told you what happened at Amazon and with the job fairs they were having. Did he mention that? Let me see, I've got it written down here. They were, 2,124 people showed up to the job fairs, and of those, 1,981 were offered jobs. That's 93%, over 93%. That's really exciting. And we have still a bunch coming, like the U-Line expansion, over 900 jobs. And with Costco, we're going to have over 220 on average at a Costco, over 220 jobs. And Costco starts at $17 an hour. And so also what I want you to know is that for the first time ever, our job service center is having a more difficult time filling jobs than finding jobs. So it would really be a wonderful thing if everybody would share that information, because a lot of people have no idea that there's so much opportunity downtown at job service centers. They're going to employment agencies and they're going to other places where they could actually just be hired directly right from job services. They have a CDL program and a CNC program where they actually pay for the training so that you get your certificate or your license in either of those. And then they have a 95% placement after the CNC program. I mean, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. So, it's just last night at the Human Services, and I talking to Doug in the last few weeks, or actually the last couple of months about these things, and it's just really, really exciting what's going on here in Kenosha with jobs. So, anyways, I just hope everybody is going to spread that around a little bit in case somebody's still looking.
Thank you for that update, Supervisor Anita Johnson. Supervisor Ritzlaff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to add to what Anita said from our meeting last night. I'll make this quick. You talk about Kenosha County being in the Maslow hierarchy of self-actualization. It is unbelievable, the amount of jobs that are available. Things that we were looking at before. I mean, you talk about something like minimum wage, we just go, we're way past that. I mean, these jobs are incredible that they're coming in at. Another thing that you're going to miss, Doug, Supervisor Noble will talk about 285 acres. We'll go through this in the planning, is being purchased by a company that does not even have tenants yet, with the knowledge that just because Amazon is here and everyone, that there's going to be a need for the auxiliary type of businesses that go with that. I mean, this is just an incredible situation we're in. I think we should all be very happy about that and commend a lot of people have been done that, including this county board. So I just wanted to say it is very exciting what we saw last night, and we should all be really excited about it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor Ritzlaff. Okay, anybody else? Any other supervisor reports? Any other supervisor reports? Supervisor reports are closed. We'll go on to county executive appointments. County clerk.
Executive appointment 27, Aaron Strom to serve on the Kenosha County Local Emergency Planning Committee.
We'll refer to Judiciary and Law Committee.
28, Michael Gable to serve on the Kenosha County Human Service Board.
Refer to Human Service Committee.
29, Rich Dodge to serve on the Kenosha County Human Service Board.
Refer to Human Service Committee.
30, Estelina Cooksey to serve on the Kenosha County Civil Service Commission.
Refer to Finance and Administration and Judiciary and Law.
31, Janice Erickson to serve on the Kenosha County Commission on Aging.
Refer to Human Service Committee.
32, Julie Ray Friedman to serve on the Kenosha County Commission on Aging.
Refer to Human Service Committee.
33, Herschel Riles to serve on the Kenosha County Commission on Aging.
Refer to Human Service Committee.
34, James Schmidt to serve on the Kenosha County Veteran Service Commission.
Refer to Human Service Committee.
35, Sharon Acerbi to serve on the Kenosha County Library System Board.
Refer to Finance and Administration Committee.
Old Business Ordinance, first reading. 29, from Planning Development and Extension Education Committee, ordinance regarding request from St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church Cemetery for a comprehensive plan amendment from suburban density residential to governmental and institutional town of Wheatland. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Skalitsky, excused. Retzlaff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
I move ordinance number 29.
Ordinance number 29 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Decker. Supervisor Noble.
This property is located on the north side of 60th Street, approximately 850 feet east of 392nd Avenue. That's out in Slade's Corners, out by Highway P. The comprehensive plan amendment will allow a revision of map 65 of the comprehensive plan from suburban density residential to governmental and institutional. This is a small little piece of property that is already what is regarded as a cemetery out there, and I guess it was a bit of a surprise that it had a separate parcel number, so it's somewhat adjusting something that's already in place. So the town of Wheatland recommended approval of the request.
Thank you. Seeing no lights on this is a simple majority vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ordinance 29 passes. County Clerk.
Ordinance 30 from the Planning, Development, Extension, Education Committee. Ordinance, excuse me. Ordinance regarding request from St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church Cemetery for rezoning from A1 Agricultural Preservation District to I1 Institutional District, Town of Wheatland. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Skalitsky, excused. Retzloff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
This is the same property that I just talked about, that the other resolution ordinance was to do the comprehensive plan amendment, and this particular ordinance is the actual rezoning which would allow the church to expand the cemetery.
Hold on one second. You have to move it first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I move ordinance number 30.
Okay, ordinance number 30 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Ritzloff. Supervisor Noble. Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you.
Like I was saying, this is the same piece of property that we just spoke of in the comprehensive plan amendment. This would be the rezoning of the same piece of property. The rezoning would allow the church to expand the cemetery in the future. And the town of Wheatland also recommended approval of this request.
Thank you. This is a simple majority vote. All those in favor of ordinance 30, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 30 passes.
Ordinance 31 from the Planning, Development, Extension, Education Committee. Ordinance regarding requests from St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church for a comprehensive plan amendment from suburban density residential to governmental and institutional, Town of Wheatland. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Skalitsky, excused. Retzloff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
I move ordinance number 32.
31.
31.
Ordinance number 31 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Gable. Supervisor Noble.
All right, this also is a comprehensive plan amendment. This is a property located on the north side of 60th Street, approximately 850 feet east of 392nd Avenue, again, out in Slade's Corner. It basically is an 8.6 acre or 8.8 acre farm that was purchased by a family that lives out there, and it was given to the church out there to also make into a future cemetery. But this particular ordinance is a comprehensive plan amendment which will allow a revision of map 65 of the comprehensive plan from suburban density residential to governmental institutional. The town of Wheatland recommended approval of the request.
Thank you. This is a simple majority vote for ordinance number 31. All those in favor, vote aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ordinance 31 passes.
Ordinance 32 from the Planning, Development, Extension, Education Committee, ordinance regarding requests from St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church for rezoning from A1 Agricultural Preservation District to I1 Institutional District, Town of Wheatland. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Skalitsky, excused. Retzloff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
I move ordinance number 32.
Ordinance number 32 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Decker. Supervisor Noble.
This is, again, the same property I just spoke of on 60th Street near 392nd Avenue out by Slade's Corners, that 8.8 acre that was once a farm. This is the rezoning that would allow the church to expand the cemetery in the future. The Town of Wheatland recommended approval of the request.
Okay. This is a simple majority vote also for ordinance number 32. Vote yes if you're in favor, no if you're against for ordinance number 32. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Ordinance 32 passes.
Ordinance 33 from the Planning Development Extension Education Committee, an ordinance regarding request from Chad L. Giles for rezoning from B3 Highway Business District to R2 Suburban Single Family Residential District, Town of Somers. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Galitsky, excused. Retzloff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
I move ordinance number 33.
Ordinance number 33 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Ritzloff. Supervisor Noble.
This property is located on the north side of County Highway M, which is the old Highway 31, now also sometimes called Old Green Bay Road, approximately 0.25 miles east of State Highway 31. The rezoning will allow for a single-family residence to be built. The Town of Somers recommended approval of the request.
Well, this is a simple majority vote for ordinance number 33. All those in favor? All those opposed? Ordinance 33 passes.
Ordinance 34 from the Planning Development Extension Education Committee, an ordinance regarding request from Charles Tunkey Incorporated owner, John Burrows, Majestic Realty Company agent, for rezoning from A1 Agricultural Preservation District and A4 Agricultural Landholding District to BP1 Business Park District and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District with a planned unit development overlay, PUD, Town of Somers. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Galitsky, excused. Retzloff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
I move ordinance number 34.
Ordinance number 34 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Gable. Supervisor Noble.
This property is located on the north side of County Highway S, which is also 38th Street, approximately 200 feet east of County Highway H, which is 88th Avenue. The rezoning and plan unit development overlay will allow for the development of a business park in the Town of Somers on the Tunkeys Farm. The Town of Somers recommended approval of the request.
Okay, seeing no lights, this is a simple majority vote. All those in favor of ordinance 34? All those opposed? Ordinance 34 passes.
Resolution 69 from the Planning Development Extension Education Committee, a resolution regarding request from St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church Cemetery for a comprehensive plan amendment from suburban density residential to governmental and institutional, Town of Wheatland. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Skalitsky, excused. Retzloff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
I move resolution number 69.
Resolution 69 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Decker. Supervisor Noble.
This is one of the properties that we discussed earlier, the one on 60th Street out by Slade's Corners. The state requires a resolution from the Planning Development Extension Education Committee and an ordinance from the full county board to amend the comprehensive plan. This resolution would allow an amendment to the Kenosha County Comprehensive Plan for change from suburban density residential to governmental and institutional. The Town of Wheatland recommended approval of the request. The only thing that I don't know here, maybe Corporation Council, I do believe in committee we have to have a roll call vote, so.
That was your deal, right? You want to explain why that was, or you want to just let it go?
Right, well, the state was determined in committee, but not necessarily on the.
Who's going to take this one?
Yeah, you should probably take it.
Okay. Vice, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Supervisor Noble, from what I understood from Andy Bueller was that the state had required us to do this in committee, but it wasn't required for the board floor.
Okay, thank you.
You're done moving it now, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 69 is a simple majority vote. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Resolution 69 passes. County Clerk.
Resolution 70 from the Planning Development Extension Education Committee, a resolution regarding request from St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church for a comprehensive plan amendment from suburban density residential to governmental and institutional, Town of Wheatland. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Galitsky, excused. Redsloff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
I move resolution number 70.
Resolution 70 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Ritzloff. Supervisor Noble.
Thank you. This, again, is the property located out there on 60th Street, east of 392nd Avenue out in Slade's Corners. The state requires a resolution from the Planning and Development Extension Committee and an ordinance from the full county board to amend the comprehensive plan. This resolution would allow an amendment to the county comprehensive plan for a change from suburban density residential to government and institutional. The town of Wheatland recommended approval of the request, and so did the committee.
Thank you. This is a simple majority vote. All those in favor of Resolution 70, vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, Resolution 70 passes.
Resolution 71, from Human Services Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Benjamin Harbuck to the Kenosha County Board of Administrative Appeals. Hallman, yes. Gable, yes. Anita Johnson, yes. Decker, yes. Arrington, excused. Blau, yes. Retzloff, yes.
Supervisor Hallman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Move Resolution 71, 72, and 73 upon being read, please.
Okay. So, you gonna read them now? Or?
Sure, you want to check, see if it's okay with everybody?
We need to get a second on that. Is there a second? There's a second by Supervisor Jeff Gentz on that motion to move them all together.
Everyone approve?
And then we have to go for an all approval. All right. Voice vote. Okay, you can read them all now.
Okay. 72, from Human Service Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Dr. Scott Pierce to the Kenosha County Workforce Development Board. Hallman, yes. Gable, yes. Anita Johnson, yes. Decker, yes. Arrington, excused. Blau, yes. Retzloff, yes. 73, from Human Service Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Scott McClellan to the Kenosha County Workforce Development Board. Hallman, yes. Gable, yes. Anita Johnson, yes. Decker, yes. Arrington, excused. Blau, yes. Retzloff, yes.
All right, we'll do a simple majority vote to move Resolution 71, 72, and 73 forward. All those in favor of doing that, aye? Aye. All those opposed? Okay, Resolution 71 through 73 passes unanimously. County Clerk.
Communications from Andy M. Bueller regarding future items scheduled before the Planning Development Extension Education Committee.
Receive and file that.
Claims, 27, Yolanda Green, Brendan DeRoser, Shalaranda Campbell, and King DeRoser, personal injuries.
Refer to Corporation Council.
28, Darren Keith Taylor, lost property while incarcerated.
Refer to Corporation Council.
29, Sylvana Robinson, lost property while incarcerated.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Supervisor comments, Supervisor Hallman.
Supervisor Hallman, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not exactly sure what it is I should say. I've tried to write about this a couple of times and seem to have come up short. I made a few notes. I might reference those. I might not. What I will say is this. On a personal level, the last couple of months that we've seen from Ferguson, Missouri, to Milwaukee, to New York, to Cleveland, Ohio, have been very difficult for me. They're difficult because I do this job. I love our law enforcement. I support our law enforcement. But at the same time, I do harbor a fairly healthy measure of fear of our law enforcement. It probably doesn't help that I have two friends that represent the Ferguson area in Missouri, one of them being Alderman Antonio French, who was arrested protesting alongside his constituents, and certainly our mutual friend who tried to submit the petition against the governor of Missouri's chosen prosecutor to the county office and was denied access, State Senator Maria Chappelle. I know those individuals as I know you, and I know the work that they do, and I know the work that we do, and I know a little bit about their communities, and I know ours. And I know there's some similarities and some parallels. And I know that the issue that people of color have with law enforcement is not going to go away overnight, nor will it go away in the immediate future. Martin Luther King Day is around the corner, and then immediately after that is Black History Month. This is not going away. And I'm going to quote another local elected, because I don't know if that person would like their name to be mentioned. But we were in conversation about this issue, and that person said to me, if what has happened in other communities happens in Kenosha, it means that we have failed. I agree with that assessment. And so I'm not speaking tonight to pontificate, to be holy. I'm not trying to offer a policy solution. The only thing that I can tell you that at the core, we have to find a way to grapple with, and again, it's not a policy problem, so it will be difficult to do this, is the issue of trust. I used to wonder why African Americans in particular held such affection for the federal government. And one day it dawned on me, because the feds fixed stuff when as a group of American citizens, they went and said, this is what we'd like, and we're told no, they fought to get it. The problem was, one, they should never have had to fight in the first place and should have already had it. But two, is that the laws of the land were as such to deny them. And when you have a popular law, as we all know, and you want to stay elected, you make sure it's enforced. You double down on the enforcement because that increases your poll numbers. So we've historically had this relationship of mistrust. Even when we try to do right as governments, even when law enforcement tries to do right, and even when members of communities of color know that somebody got robbed or stabbed next door, that has to be dealt with in a certain fashion. But the problem is that we have two populations that do not trust one another for legitimate reasons on both sides. I don't know how to fix that. But I do know that if it's not addressed, then this thing that we call community falls apart, and this thing that we call society really doesn't function. It isn't healthy. And I'm old enough to know the difference between trust and blind faith. Trust requires a sense of openness. There may be some healing that has to occur. Blind faith just is like your puppy coming home. Regardless as to what you do, it's going to lick your hand and be happy to see you. Blind faith doesn't hold any weight, nor does it hold us together. So I don't know if that's what I was supposed to say or should have said, or if it was politically correct, but it was honest. So if anyone wants to dialogue about how we do that, this is a great place to start up a working group of 3 or 4 supervisors and smash heads together and see what we come up with. I don't know any communities that have talked about doing that. It seems everybody wants to back away from this for one reason or another, but they're going to find that they can't do that. So we should be smart and be in front of this thing and try to figure out what that means. What does it look like for communities of color and law enforcement to trust each other? Thank you.
Thank you. I prefer bumping heads, though, not smashing them. Thank you for that. Okay, we'll go on to item number K, approval of the minutes, please. Okay, it's been moved by Supervisor Ron Frederick and seconded by Supervisor, what was it?
Colmeyer.
Supervisor Colmeyer, to approve the December 2nd, 2014 minutes. All those in favor? Can I get a motion to adjourn? Okay, we've got a motion to adjourn by Supervisor Gable, seconded by Supervisor David Arrington. All those in favor? Thank you. Have a good evening. Stay safe out there.